What is up? We are your Colorado real estate family, and today in this video right here, we're going to be talking about whether or not Colorado is for you compared to other states.
All right, let's go. Okay, if you are new to our channel, Chelsea and Pete here, and if you're interested in moving to our beautiful state in any of these awesome cities, do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button down below because we're the couple that you need to know. Also, that notification bell, go ahead and hit that now because we put out 2 videos a week.
Yeah, guys, along those lines, also like being your real estate experts, we're helping out so many people just like yourself watching this video right now who are purchasing real estate in the state of Colorado. So we're going to put that phone number in below, right there. Licensed real estate agent here helping out so many people just like you.
Okay, before we get started on this topic, because we know so many of you are interested in how Colorado compares to other states, we are so excited about this background. I hope you can see it as good as we can, but looking at the tree and the green grass, like it's very rare that we have this green of grass with still the changing of all the trees. So
yeah, fall is beautiful here right now, guys. The weather's amazing. We're looking at like 70s, 80s, and then just the colors. Look at all these colors.
Look at the colors.
Yeah,
we're actually getting family photos on the Sunday. Because of the colors, yes.
I didn't know that. She just puts it on the schedule and then I just go to where she wants me to be. So.
Mom boss. Put it in the calendar.
All right,
okay,
let's break into this video.
We're going to cover a couple topics today. We're going to be covering Colorado as a whole compared to some other states. We're going to talk about real estate, of course. And then we're going to actually talk about the median household let's try that one again. Median household income, and kind of how that compares, if it like directly correlates or not. But stick around till the end because we're also going to be giving you kind of the down and dirty of these like home characteristics. So.
Well, yeah, guys, and here's the thing: is we take this from working with you guys on a constant basis. So there's stuff that we take advantage of that we really don't know, that you don't know until we're working with you. So when we're working with you guys, you're like, wait, what's that? What does that mean? And so we're going to go into that a little bit further.
Okay, so let's dive in. So what does that mean as a summary when we're actually comparing Colorado? Where does Colorado stand on this whole cost of living index? So I looked at several different sites and they're all very similar. There's a little bit of differences, but most of them all came out the same. And that is Colorado is actually the 17th, how do I say this? Most expensive state?
17th most expensive. So 1 being your number 1, we're number 17 on that list. And actually, we reversed that list because I think we were 35 and they included 2 that I think
33.
No, 53 they included?
33.
Oh, 33. So, but they had like Puerto Rico and I think, DC in there. Yeah. We're just talking about the 50 states, guys. And so we did a little bit of math, some organization of the numbers, and we're like, all right, let's just say that we're here. Simple. All right? Yeah.
Well, we didn't just say that we're here. Let's just simplify it a little bit because coming from like the least expensive going up, it is like really far up the list because we're the 17th most expensive state. So, okay, so what are some of the states that are more expensive than us? I wrote them down for you because I can't remember them.
Notepad.
My notepad. Okay, so the most expensive state is Hawaii. The second is Massachusetts. California is number 3, which, I mean, no brainer there. New York, number 4.
And that actually kind of blew my mind. I thought New York would be higher than California, but...
I know, I agree. Yeah. I thought it was going to be higher as well. And then I did not know this one. The 5th most expensive state is Alaska. Like, what? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The only thing I can think of is like you're buying up a shit ton of land or something like that, and that's why it's so expensive. I don't know.
It's cost of living.
So yeah, maybe
I don't know. That one
the accessibility of getting stuff to your house and just groceries and everything.
Yeah. Peter's picturing an igloo.
Think about it. I mean, we have like rails, like a track system and stuff throughout the United States. And I'm thinking Alaska. I was like, oh yeah, you probably got to take a boat. It's like everyone's got to get their ramen and stuff on a boat.
Oh my gosh, you were thinking like accessibility by that, and I was like. So most people think Colorado is this big igloo. I think Alaska is this big igloo, but I don't actually know if that's true. That's what I picture. Yeah. Okay, so the least expensive states. Okay, so how do I say this? The least expensive state in the cost of living is Mississippi.
Yep.
The second is Oklahoma. Third is Kansas, which... That makes sense. Guys, I get to make fun of Kansas because I lived in Kansas, so I love you guys. I actually don't. I make fun of it because I love it, okay? Yep. It's a love-hate relationship. And then the 4th is Alabama, and the 5th is Georgia. So I have to say, though, I went to Alabama recently in Birmingham, and it was not cheap to be there. Like eating out was not cheap to be there. The real estate in the area wasn't cheap. So there definitely must be other areas of Alabama that's bringing that down, because there are some kind of bougie areas in Alabama that are pretty pricey. But okay, so 17th most expensive state.
So I was thinking about it too. We're talking about, this is way off topic, but we're coming from our Florida property and stuff like that. And we're just like randomly Googling like the least obese state. And Colorado is the least obese state in the United States. And Florida was number 7 just because we have properties there. So we're like, well, where's Florida stand with this?
Yeah.
Mississippi was last on the list.
Not really off topic, because we're comparing other states.
That's true.
So as far as activity goes, everyone knows that Colorado is one of the most active states. And so it kind of makes sense that they'd be like the healthiest and all of that. And so, and we talk about this all the time in our videos. We got a lot of foodies here. So,
it's true.
You know, and California is a foodie place.
And we've helped many of you who are foodies want to move here because we are such a foodie state. So,
yes, we have all the different, I read this, what was I listening to? I read this really nice way of saying like all of our diets. It wasn't a diet, it was like a, I'll have to find it. I'm gonna make Peter put it in here, but it was like lifestyle. It wasn't lifestyle choice, but anyways, we have all these really beautiful terminology about all the diets that we follow. Okay, let's get into what you're probably most concerned about, which is going to be the real estate.
And so here's the hardest thing is in Colorado, obviously I'm a licensed real estate agent here. I have access to so many materials, so many different stats and everything that I could pull up. So when I look up something trying to figure out like what places are the most expensive to purchase a house, I just don't trust the numbers. And so I'll just basically, okay, we went off Forbes.com, right? And so we went to an article, they're talking about, you know, I think it was the 15 most expensive states to purchase a house in the United States. And when I looked that up, Hawaii was actually the most expensive state to purchase a house. The average purchase price there is $730,000. And if we go down the list, Colorado is actually the 6th most expensive state to purchase a house in. The average price point of like $412 to $490. They gave me a range. I don't know why you decided to give me a range. Like the rest of the states had like an actual price point.
Right.
Of course, this channel is living in Denver. So what is the Denver median sales price? As of August of 2022, you're looking at $537.
Okay, so all our real estate agents out there, because Peter is always really adamant about getting the most accurate numbers. Like we look up numbers every single video. We don't just take it from the month before. We always want to make sure it's most accurate.
Yep.
But we don't have the same tools as you guys do out there. So if you are an agent or you live in these other states, feel free to comment down below and tell us kind of what your market looks like, because I think that's really helpful for the viewers. So feel free to engage on this site. This is what it's all about, is teaching you guys about our area. But that is one thing that we don't have a ton of access to. So we had to go off of, you know, multiple sites and then kind of take the averages and things like that. So,
exactly.
Okay, so let's get into the median household income. Okay, I have to go slow because Peter always makes fun of me because I talk fast and he thinks I say a different word. Medium. I don't though. I say median.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You guys could tell us that whether or not all the other videos in the past, I feel like it's medium.
It falls into the bloopers every time because Peter corrects me on the word. But okay, so let's talk about that. I'm not going to go into a ton of numbers, although I did look them all up for you because I'm a little bit of a numbers nerd. But the most important thing was understanding kind of the least expensive state to live in with cost of living, the most expensive state in comparison to Colorado, and does that directly correlate with the median household income? Okay, like I know this is nerdy, I really do, but I think it's important because one of our clients recently, moving in from out of state, it was from Ohio, was asking, you know, the job that I'm getting here versus there is a very different number for the offer. Am I going to be able to offset that in cost of living? So like, does it directly correlate? I'm like, that is a really good question. So, okay, let me tell you. So as far as Mississippi, for a 2-person household median income, for Mississippi, so the least expensive state was $57,000, okay? The most expensive state, I'm looking down, I'm sorry, but I have to show you my notes because I have so many little numbers. Hawaii was $88,181, okay? So pretty, like 30,000 difference there. Now, Colorado was $92,000. So clearly doesn't correlate because we're supposed to be the 17th most expensive state, but yet people make more money here in comparison to the most expensive state. So I definitely think that's important to understand, is just to coming here when you do, you know, get your job or whatever, you know, we do look at the cost of living things because I don't think it directly correlates with the most expensive. There's just so many different factors that go into the most expensive cost of living. And some of our income, like we do have a lot of high paying jobs in Colorado.
We do. I don't know if you guys are like me, but right now it's like, I'm thinking about that Zoolander movie where Owen Wilson's just
oh my
like,
gosh. all my numbers people out there are going to understand what I'm saying.
Well, remember, all these numbers are like, all right, cool. So we're the 6th most expensive state when it comes to real estate. We're the 17th when it comes to incorporating everything into one. And so there's just all these different numbers, and I'm just...
He was like, we're going to bore people. And I'm like, no. We're going to bring in my people, okay? It's important to understand these things. We're making a huge decision. We have talked to you about different cities, all the things we love about them. Yep. And it's really important to understand on a cost standpoint where we stand as far as Colorado compared to other states.
Yep. All right, cool.
So, if you like this video, tell Peter that you love it.
That you're a numbers person.
That you're a numbers person.
You're sitting there jotting down notes, taking all the notes, like, all right, cool.
It's more about a story. Numbers tell a story.
I hear it does, but I'm just like...
Peter's like, tree, squirrel. I love telling a story. I want to know, especially being a mom, moving into another state, how is that going to affect my life? We have clients right now who are moving here that have to work so hard in order to live where they live, where they could really get back time with their family if they move to another state. And that blew my mind. I never really thought about it that way. They also talked about how they're setting up their kids for success and how hard is it going to be to live where they are. Are they going to have to work harder? And I was like, that is a really big perspective. So sorry, this is Chelsea's deep thought. But it was exciting to me to then cover Colorado compared to other states because we are so big about quality time.
Oh, of course. And I mean, as you guys, if you've ever watched any of our other videos, we also invest in other states. So we always like to take back what information we gain from those states and like, all right, how does this really compare to Colorado? Why is this state different from our state to this state? And so this is actually a super interesting topic because, like I said, we love to travel outside of Colorado and see what else that we don't know in these other states.
Okay, so that gets us to our last topic. And this one's going to be quick. So if you stuck around, great job, because this is all of the information that we have compiled from all of you guys moving into the state. Things that we didn't know that you didn't know. Okay, so talking about home characteristics. We're going to kind of go through fast because we're going to go.
Okay, so I mean, obviously the biggest one I think is basements. We have basements here in Colorado for the most part. I'd say probably 80% of your houses here in Colorado do have that basement. So there's certain things to take in consideration with that. One thing being is a sump pump. Is we do have high water tables here. Even though we are a mile high above sea level, we still do have some high water tables of fresh water. So we have sump pumps here. Just because there's a sump pump in the house doesn't mean there's a problem. Most new houses that you do purchase currently that are new builds will have that sump pump in it. So that's something that we always look at. Another thing too that people don't realize is we have something here called radon. Now radon is a gas that emits out of the ground here in Colorado and something that we want to check the levels to make sure that they're all good. And there's like some links and studies. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an expert on it. You know, it might lead to some cancers or something like that. I really don't know.
Long exposure, they say. It's not like carbon dioxide where, you know, limited exposure is going to cause issues. It's more that long exposure thing over time is what I've been reading. I like did a lot of research on it because one of our clients asked, and I'm like, I need to learn more about this. Okay. The other thing too is the shifting soil. So because of basements, one of the things that we look for, especially with shifting soil, is if there's been any effects to the foundation. And so we'll look for cracks and things like that. Cracks are not uncommon. It's how big the crack, it's where the crack is, and just kind of identifying if this is an old crack or a new crack. Is it still continuing to crack? Lots of stuff about crack. Okay.
All right, and so another thing with that expansive soil is the majority of it's due to the clay that we have in our soil here. And so when we're down in our Florida property and I put a shovel in the ground, it goes in super easy because most of it's sand.
It's like sand.
Here, try digging 2 feet below in Colorado. If it's not fresh, brand new soil that was just put in, it's pretty freaking hard, especially in the wintertime because it's all frozen. But
you can break a shovel.
Yeah, so we have a ton of clay here, something to really be on the lookout for. Our soil is not similar to, like, say, a lot of these other areas that are on the coast.
Okay, the other thing is that we have 4 seasons. So you have to winterize here. There's different things per each season. We create a checklist for all of our, clients moving into the state because every season has something different. Winterizing is the big one. And so, we've talked about that, about moving here in the wintertime. Go check out that video if you haven't already. But definitely understanding the 4 seasons and what does that mean as a homeowner and what you need to do to keep up with your home.
So another thing too, compared to other states, is you don't really have to worry about mold as much here. There are some certain aspects where it's like, if we look at there's a toilet leak or some type of a plumbing leak, of course we're going to want to get that mold test. But we get a lot of people who are from coast cities, like say from all the way from Atlanta and then on the other side of San Diego. They're like, well, we really have to worry about mold there. Here, not so much. So it's something that we will be on the lookout for. But most inspectors that we usually throw you guys on this end when purchasing in Colorado, they'll say you really don't need a mold test unless we see signs of black mold or something growing in certain areas.
Okay, insurance. Wow, we're good at this one. This is one that we know really well because we do this with all of you guys. But insurance, we don't. actually recently, a lot of you asked if we have the fire insurance. We are seeing some things change with the fire insurance since
the Marshall fire.
The Marshall fire.
Yep.
But that was not something common beforehand. We had never seen anything like that, so it was just directly related to that. The other thing is hail. So we get a lot of hail. So our roof insurance, deductibles, we'll look at that because there are certain things here that you might want a lower deductible, especially like a roof or things like that because of the hail. Fences.
There's a saying around here: if you need a new roof, just wait till the next hail season.
They're like, was there a storm? And we're like, yes, there was.
Yep.
On this date,
on this day right here is recorded.
We're gonna get in trouble for fraud. No, just kidding. Okay, anyways, it is true though. Like we do have a lot of storms here, and typically when that happens, everybody puts in a claim, and so
we're
on
in like
and so
that hail
forth.
valley. I think it goes from Nebraska through Colorado up through Wyoming. So we have this hail valley, and so also another insurance you gotta have to worry about is your auto insurance too,
Yes.
because if you don't have your car parked in the garage and we get one of those really good hailstorms, it could really damage your car.
Yes, as well as with the snow. We're not supposed to be talking about your car, but we're gonna go there anyways. And I just had a bug almost fly in my mouth. But also with your car, because we have snow, they put gravel down or they'll put salt down and things like that. And then when the snow goes away, we have big trucks kicking up that salt and rocks
So
and things like that.
windshields,
And
the front of your car is
yeah.
just like all kind
The
of
clear bra thing's pretty popular here. Windshield replacement, not just crack. You have to do the whole thing, the whole gamut on that.
That's true.
Okay, did we cover? Like that was a lot of information.
There's so many times where we're wondering with you guys, and you bring certain things from where you're coming from here, and we're like, oh, we really don't do that here. And then we bring something up during inspection, like, wait, what does that mean? And so,
I have one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Termites.
yeah, so termites really not a problem here whatsoever. There are like super minor cases here and there, wherever, but I mean, like we go down to Florida, everyone gets a termite inspection. Everyone has to worry about termites. I feel like every single house, if it's not block built, has termites. It's just like you just got to make sure that they don't take over the house, right?
We're like, what? At first, it freaked me out. Okay, also, a lot of the home maintenance stuff that we talked about. In Florida, we have to have somebody come out and spray our property. In Missouri, we also have
for pests. Yeah.
What is our big one? Scorpions over in Missouri.
I didn't know they had freaking scorpions in Lake of the Ozarks until we saw scorpions in Lake of the Ozarks. I was like, holy crap.
Don't let us scare you though. We get it treated. So if you want to go to our Airbnb, please do. But then here, like it's like spiders. You know what I mean? Like we have you're like, oh, you want us to spray the outside of your house with peppermint for spiders? We're like, sure, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so if you go into an attic here in Colorado, there's cobwebs everywhere, right? And so I had to go into the attic in one of our Florida properties, and it was like the cleanest attic. I was like, there's like no cobwebs here. What is going on? It was insane.
He's like, this is the cleanest attic I've ever seen.
And the house was built in the 70s, so it's not like it's brand new built or nothing, but I was like, God, this is nice and clean, where you go to attic here and you're like, just get all the cobwebs out of your face.
He was so impressed by this attic. I'm like, get out of the attic. He's like, it's so nice up here. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, that was a lot of information, but we wanted to compile a lot of things that you guys have taught us that you didn't know. And so thank you for all of that. Thanks for your questions. There is never a question that is too silly to ask because it's all about learning different states and how they compare to one another. So thanks so much for sticking around this long.
Yep. Of course, guys, we're going to put that phone number below one more time right there. That way, if you are looking at purchasing real estate in the state of Colorado, go ahead and give us a call. And until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
If you guys haven't already checked it out,
It's aggressive.
I know.
No.
We're standing in front of this beautiful
Tropical? Yes, that's what you do need vacation.
I know. Okay. I'm the one who picked the location, just so you know. Don't think it was her. I know she loves fall, but I was like, look at this beautiful fall tree. We need to get a video in front of it, and that way it'll look amazing.
If you guys, babe, what the
I'm trying to keep it light. What certain aspects of Colorado when purchasing a property that you should be looking at? Certain aspects of when
Yes. Okay. So let's get into the summary.
Yeah.
So where does Colorado stand? So if you're looking at the cost of, okay, let me try that again.